lived there for a few years, and I was really excited to come to the US. And one thing that they didn't tell us is, and you Americans would know that we all get treated like terrorists when we come over here. And again, I'm from Sweden. We haven't been to war in 400 years. We weren't even in World War II. Our position in World War II was witnesses. But we get told, you know, what to do and what not to do. And by the way, your Homeland Security is really sophisticated. We get this form, and the first question on there is, are you a terrorist? The second question is, do you have any intentions of killing the president? Because in case I was a terrorist, I'm sure I would have been so overwhelmed with guilt. Cannot write no. But we get told what to do and what not to do, and one thing they didn't tell us is dressing European is the same thing as being gay. My first indication was when I was going through Homeland Security, and the officer looks at me and he goes, "Married or single?" I said, "Married." He goes, "Yeah? What's his name?" I'm not gay though, I'm not. My boyfriend is, but I'm not. It's Mother's Day today. Yay! We have that in Sweden too. I know you celebrated Cinco de Mayo last week, or as you say over here, Cinco de Mayo. And I lived in Mexico. I used to fly and live down there for a couple of years, and they don't celebrate Cinco de Mayo down there. And for every bar there was a drunk American in last week. There was also a Mexican going, "¿Qué chinga están celebrando?" Which means, what the fuck are you celebrating? And I asked an American, "What are you celebrating?" And they said, "Oh, it's Mexico's Independence Day." I'm like, "No, it's not. That's the 16th of September." But alright, yes. Pura raza. And one thing you do have over here though that we don't is Thanksgiving. And every year I get asked, "What do you do in Sweden for Thanksgiving?" And I'm like, well, considering that the Native American population of Sweden is pretty small, we don't do much. But every time I tell people, you know, "Oh, I'm from Sweden," they're like, "Oh yeah, schmurgen, worgen, durgen." And I didn't get it for the longest time until I watched the Muppet Show. The fucking Muppet Show? That's the extent of your international knowledge? Cool. "Oh, your chocolate is really great. You're thinking of Swiss chocolate." I'm from Sweden. I fucking hate the Swiss. One thing we didn't know though, when I didn't realize how segregated America is, and it's kind of sad in a way, but at the same time I'm a positive person, and I think, oh, it's great, you know, if I want to meet a black girl, all I gotta do is go to a hip-hop club. And if I want to meet a young single Latina, all I gotta do is go to Planned Parenthood. And if I want to meet an Asian, all I gotta do is go to the scene of a car crash. Come on, I've driven under 60. But I guess, you know, opposite tracks. I'm from Sweden. Everyone's tall and blonde and gorgeous, and #1 country in the world for one-night stands. Sucks, it's boring after a while. So I'm not gonna lie, I had a little bit of jungle fever when I moved over here in the beginning. America, yes. Amazing bodies. A lot of fucking attitude though. So that jungle fever quickly faded into yellow fever. No, bro, I had yellow fever. Almost fucking killed me. Something wrong with that pussy. And then I caught on to this Spanish fly, Latinas. So one day she said, "Marcos, why don't you marry me?" And I said, "Schmurgen, worgen, durgen." Bitch shanked me. Here's some Montezuma's revenge for you. But, you know, it's hard in Los Angeles to meet the right girl, you know. It's a very materialistic and shallow city to live in. But I figured out the formula. The best thing to do